And since we were just talking about Real Madrid, let's talk about them now. Within the Champions League context, they will be facing off against Manchester City. This matchup is going to be fucking incredible, dude. Yeah. Just right off the bat, this is star-studded, top to bottom, big names everywhere. Some amazing crowd atmospheres await us, especially at the Santiago Bernabeu. And once again, a lot on the line here, because this is it for Pep Guardiola within that sense of he's at Manchester City. He's had so much money to spend, and he has yet to win that Champions League trophy. That was the pressure that was put on him this season going into it with Erling Haaland joining the team. This is it for him. And on the other side, it's Real Madrid, man. Yeah. It's Real Madrid. This is what they do. This is what they're famous for. This is all they know how to do. Two major teams matching up, man. How do you just initially feel about this matchup?
For me, it's not a question of who wins this game. It's a question of how badly does Manchester City beat Real Madrid, bro. And I'm being 100% serious. I don't care how hot of a take it is or how aggressive it sounds or maybe low-key how disrespectful it is, because, look, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I was actually going for Madrid against Liverpool last year simply because of the legacy, right? And you just said it perfectly. Madrid know one thing for certain. And that's how to win in the UEFA Champions League. Despite all of that, I think finally there is a team that I have my absolute trust and faith in to topple that notion. And that is Manchester City. Probably the best team in form right now in all of Europe, definitely all of the world. So I just truly do not see a way over two legs for Madrid to beat this Manchester City side. Now, obviously, I do think it'll be competitive because Madrid are going to take this seriously. It's the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. But I just only see Manchester City winning this. So I don't really have a lot of back and forth here. You know, if this was maybe a different tie, I could give the weaker team points here as to why they could beat the bigger opponent. But in this case, bro, truly, I bet my fucking house that Manchester City would go through to the final. So that's all I have to say, man. It's Manchester City or nothing for me.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, I'm all in.
I love it.
I'm all in.
What would the outcome look like? Can you even envision them losing, man? What's that gonna look like for you, man?
Yeah, so I think I said it in the last episode. Madrid beating Manchester City truly would surprise me. And it takes a lot to surprise me nowadays, considering I've watched, what feels like 20 years of football, and it's only been 10. But I've seen so much. I've seen so many surprises, so many things where I just could not expect. This is going to be one of them. If Madrid do beat Manchester City, I will be surprised. I will write up a 10-page apology to do live on this podcast, because I truly will be surprised if Manchester City lose to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm being as open as I can about this. I only see City in the final.
I love that.
And that's me.
I love that. No, I love that, dude. I really do. It feels almost like your club version take of how anti-Argentina you were during the World Cup.
A little.
Of how pro-Manchester City you are. I mean, if we just dumb it down to those standards, obviously it's much more complex.
Right.
And the thing, the reason I'm not too hard on you for is because I'm actually on the same page, buddy. Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Maybe not as confident, but
sure.
If I look at Team A versus Team B, I'm going with Manchester City, bro. Mm-hmm. I am. I just think that this season specifically, in nearly every single facet, they've shown to be a better team overall than Real Madrid. Obviously, there's so much more to Real Madrid beyond what they're going through this season. The history, the legacy, the players, everything that club encompasses comes into play in the Champions League and helps them, is almost like an advantage to them, unlike any other squad that exists in this world, dude. So that's a big pro and a big help towards Real Madrid, is just knowing that they have that history of winning in these big situations. Yeah. But even last year, man, with what I considered a lesser Manchester City squad, I mean, they had it in the bag, and they ultimately choked it with Real Madrid going on an incredible comeback run in the last 30 minutes to steal that win away. That's what it took for what I believe to be a better Real Madrid team back then to defeat a lesser Manchester City team.
Great point.
Now we're talking about a team that has dipped in Real Madrid and a team that has heightened itself in Manchester City. And I just think I'm going to have to go Manchester City this time around, man. I mean, you had Fernandinho getting megged on the way to a goal by Vinicius Jr. last season, man. That shit ain't happening anymore, man. There's no Fernandinho in this fucking squad anymore. You got Rodri. You got killers. John Stones is fucking playing incredible now.
Prime Stones right now.
You got incredible players all around now. I don't see as many players that would be considered a liability. I don't see players that can be easily exposed on this Manchester City team. So even just analytically, I think it's Manchester City's to lose. And if they do, then yes, we'll have that conversation. And I might have to write a paragraph in your apology letter because
an excerpt.
But I am ultimately going to go Manchester City on this one.
Yeah, what's crazy about that is, let's just say Madrid do win, we will naturally fall into the same trope that all Madrid losers face or fall into.
What's that?
The idea that no matter who Madrid play, that they're always favored if playing in the Champions League. And again, I looking at CBS Sports, as we live here in the United States, a lot of the pundits there, except for Thierry Henry, my boy, are going for Madrid simply because of that idea.
I didn't see that.
The idea that it's legacy that wins Madrid these titles, which is true, man. I mean, we've seen it the last decade. The amount of Champions League titles that they've been able to win is just down to that history, but also that pedigree. And we have talked about Madrid so much, and I saw a comment on one of our maybe a YouTube or TikTok video saying that we're Madrid lovers. But
really,
here's what's crazy about that: I have no choice these last 10 years other than to praise Madrid for how good they've been. That's how successful that club has been. That I am given no choice but to actually praise them, give them love, and shower them with all of these compliments. When in reality, bro, I'm an Atletico Madrid fan.
That's what's crazy, bro.
That's what's crazy.
That's crazy.
But
you got to be objective.
I always try to be as objective as I can. And what's crazy is the reality is Madrid are winners in this tournament.
5 Champions League in the last 10 years, bro.
Exactly.
If that's any team, if that was fucking Stuttgart, I would be talking about them this much, bro. That's what it is. I'm not trying to be biased.
Exactly. So that's my point. But again, if we get this prediction wrong, then we're just going to fall into it once again.
It'd be back-to-back years for me, though, because I had them losing against PSG. I had them losing against Chelsea. I had them losing against Liverpool. Yeah. Every round of the knockout stages last year, a lot of people felt this way. Yeah. And we were proven wrong. If it happens again, bro, they might find themselves in another fucking final, man.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be nuts. And I'll have to be singing their praises for yet another season.
Yeah,
bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. That apology will be filled with nothing but Madrid compliments, but it's not gonna fucking happen. It's not.